Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. Aloha Friday, guys. Aquaman kicks off this weekend. The King of Atlantis, or well, spoiler, but has hit it out in U.S. domestic box office Thursday night, now Friday, and it seems to be pretty huge so far. Giddish Pandya on Twitter had said this: Aquaman kicks off U.S. box office run with $13.7 million from pre-shows, 4.7 million special previews plus 9 million from Thursday evening. Full opening day Friday without special previews may head to about 29 million area. That's before the weekend. Full opening weekend with previews could hit 78 million area with lucrative Christmas holiday week ahead. So I think it's going to be a lot more than that, but we'll see this weekend as we continue to look at the Aquaman box office. This is it. This is the domestic box office. This is the one that the U.S. always looks at. The domestic opening box office weekend, and that's it looks like it's going to be a good turnout. But internationally, it's been hitting out of the park. It already got in hauled in. This is like 12 hours ago from when I'm filming this. Hauls 332 million at the international box office. Wow, it's already, and I've already said it before, it's the number one Warner Brothers film in China. The number one Warner Brothers film in China. This is fantastic. This is great. I think this is something they should do from now on. Warner Brothers should do anyway. Shazam, Wonder Woman, all DC films, maybe even all Warner Brother films should open up internationally first before it hits the U.S. And so that I think Warner Brothers should definitely do that from now on, and maybe for good reason. I mean, when you come out to the Rotten Tomatoes site, and this is like a critics aggregate, where they pull in all these different critics, mostly United States, I'm believing, and they put it on this site. And it went from like 70 something percent to 64%, currently at 64%, right when it opened in US. And you gotta wonder what is going on here. And now we shouldn't always look at Rotten Tomatoes. You should always judge a movie by itself. But it does seem fishy in terms of biases and things like that, especially some of the reviews were saying like there's too much underwater. That's really weird. What it's the movie is called Aquaman. Of course it's underwater. Why wouldn't we not expect that? There's even ones I've seen where it says it's not awful enough to be good. I'm like, I don't know why that doesn't make sense. But audience score is 86% that liked it compared to the tomato meter, 64%. That means 245 reviews were counted. 156 critics gave it a fresh rating. 89 gave it a rotten rating, and that's why it's about the 64% range. But looks like audience is not agreeing with the critics this time. Just like Venom, cinema score is A-. So that's it's really good. That's got to be some great legs. It's a great experience. I think people are gonna go out and watch it. I can't wait to watch it again. I don't know if I have time. I still haven't watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I still haven't watched Bumblebee. So I still got to do that. So I don't know. It's going to be a tough weekend. But it got an A- cinema score. It's making box office bucks. Don't be surprised if it over performs. And what I mean overperforms because Warner Brothers had said it was going to be 65 million. Analysts are going to think it's more than that. They're still playing it safe around 70 something, but I think it's good that they're underplaying it, kind of like how Venom did, and when it overperforms, they make a huge deal out of it, and people are like, "Oh, it's overperforming. It must be really good," and they go back to it and watch it, and or people go out in droves to watch it. So, I think that's amazing for itself. Jason Momoa was here. He came to Hawaii. He was at the War Theaters. I couldn't make it to it, but he showed up. But it was a VIP event. There were 30 VIP tickets available, about $300 each. Or was it $200 each? I forgot what. It was like $250 each. And they were all sold out. But that chunk of money, actually, the proceeds actually will go to the Boys and Girls Club as a charity donation. So that's kind of cool that they did that. That Jason Momoa was involved with that. He got to see with his friends and family here, and that's great. Our own local boy is a superhero. He's king of Atlantis. So great, awesome. I think it's going to be a good one. I still believe this movie could hit $1 billion. Hopefully I'm right, knock on wood. Hopefully I'm not wrong, knock on wood. And hopefully it does make that. I think makes it have a real good recognition, and then shows Warner Brothers that they're not gonna shouldn't pay attention to these critics, these bloggers that they were trying to make the movie for them. Have the director make their own, release it international for people who actually do appreciate it a little more, and then bring it here. So. I don't know. Hopefully that's the case from now on. Hopefully Warner Brothers, I think they know that, and they were prepping for that, and that's why they put it out first. It could also be because, what other movies coming out this weekend, right? Mary Poppins returns and Bumblebee. So you spread that out a little bit, make your money here and there. Makes a lot of perfect sense. It doesn't have to be all out on that same day. But hopefully, like I said, continue to grow exponentially. We could have a Jumanji effect where it just keeps. There's to be the percentage of people come back to theaters gets less and less. Instead of having them not come back. Hopefully, there's a lot of more return views for that. I think I'm saying it wrong. I think what I meant to say is that it's like, how the second weekend is like a 50% drop off, over 60% drop off, as people are like, oh, that sucks. If it's like a 30%, even I don't know if it's gonna get 20%, but like 30%, 20%, and every weekend, then that's better and better than the better. And so hopefully it just keeps rolling on like that, and well deserved, King of Atlantis. All right, the last thing I want to talk about before the weekend starts is The Other King. Now this is all about kings, and we got two kings here. They pretty much finished filming Godzilla versus Kong, Adam Wingard's Godzilla versus Kong, on Oahu, in Hawaii, and Real News and a whole bunch of people has put out some pictures of them, of the giant, massive clapper board that they use for the set, and it says Godzilla versus Kong. But then we started looking real close into it, and thank you, Sam Park Metal, for showing me this. That's like our first concept art, isn't it, of Godzilla versus Kong. The title, red, Godzilla versus in white, Kong in red. It's not King Kong versus Godzilla. It's not Kong versus Godzilla. It's Godzilla's name is the name in the front versus Kong. Hopefully that means he wins. But you look at the picture, it's a dynamic shot, and Kong is massive. Kong is as big as Godzilla, so that can put to rest about how Kong, who is like this small, in Kong Skull Island, fight Godzilla. So I'm thinking Kong grows up to Godzilla height instead of the other way around, but who knows? But they're on the same level. You see his fist ready to strike Godzilla. It's going to be an epic epic battle. Just looking at this one picture, this is gonna sell tickets like crazy. At least I think so. I mean, I'm there. I'm there first day. Hopefully, Amazon Prime's got some special event for that too. I can't wait. The King of the Monsters versus the King of the Apes. It's gonna be fantastic, and it's gonna be like the highlight of that year. 2020 can't come here soon enough. 2019 can't come here soon enough because of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. My God, we're living in a time where we see Aquaman in the movie theaters, and we're living in a time where we're seeing Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan, and we're living in a time where they remade Godzilla, or King Kong versus Godzilla, in this case, Godzilla versus Kong, in the movie theaters. Big budgets. Wow. It's great to be alive right now as a massive fanboy for this type stuff. But wow. And it's great for my kids too. They're getting to experience how I experienced Godzilla back then, except better now. They get to experience an actual superhero Aquaman movie where we're a hero that we made fun of back then, and he's like a badass in this. So yes, cheers to the kings of superheroes and monsters right now. This is a great time to be a fanboy, gigantic fanboy of this genre, and hopefully we'll get a lot more in 2019 and going and so on and so forth. So that is it about tonight. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Please have a wonderful weekend. If you haven't seen Aquaman, please do so. Go out and watch Aquaman, Bumblebee, Spider-Man, Mary Poppins, whatever your cup of tea. But hopefully you at least watch Aquaman, because it's a fantastic watch in a theater. This thing needs to be seen on an IMAX screen. I'm telling you, it needs to be seen on an IMAX screen. All right, guys. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.